Hi.
Welcome to Three Moms of the Apocalypse. Welcome to the broadcast.
I'm going to sit up straight so that they can hear me.
Yay!
And I will predict.
That rustling you hear in the background is Rita, and we adore her, so you might actually get her a little bit today. So
Yes.
Okay, so we're going to do a topic from the jar.
And it's your turn to pick the topic.
My turn to pick the topic. All right. Balancing work life with social life.
I have no social life.
I have you guys.
My work life is my social life.
I think we need to
I think we're going to have to do this one today.
throw that one back.
We'll revisit that. Because
Right.
obviously we have things we need to fix.
So, on balance, we don't do that.
All right. Balance. I think. Oh yeah. There's no balance.
All right. And, okay, so new one. Fashion rant.
Oh, we've been waiting for this.
Yes,
Oh,
people
boy.
have asked for this.
Fashion rant.
This might be a multi-video topic.
Fashion. Where do you even start?
Um,
Where do we even start with fashion rant?
what would we like? What would
I
we
have
like
no
to
sense
start?
of fashion, so this is all on y'all.
We can do the pockets. We can do the. It's not you, it's them.
How about we just start right off with the statement of, it's not you, it's the clothing.
Yes.
It's the clothing manufacturers. It's the pattern companies. It's not you.
Your body is fine.
Your body is your body, and that's what it is. And everybody has a right to feel comfortable in the clothing they put on it.
Yes.
It doesn't matter what size or shape you are, or how much society tries to shame you for not having a perfectly flat stomach and not having thighs or not having an ass.
Right.
You know, there is absolutely no reason whatsoever that any person on this planet, or at least in this neighborhood, can't.
And
moment.
God forbid that you should be a woman and have shoulders.
Yes,
Because
right.
because I have shoulders, and finding
Yes.
shirts that fit me is
Yes.
why I'm in this nice
Combined
balloon
with the
sleeve
discovery
sweater.
that you just realized, and we're told that you've been told you were long torsoed your entire life, when really you're short waisted.
Yeah, I had no
Yes.
idea. I didn't realize there was a way to measure
Rita has an
that.
opinion.
Hi, Rita.
How did you know?
Hey.
She's leaning over.
Would you-
Courtney.
Can I be seen here?
You have to scoot you a
Yeah,
little
it's
more.
good. You have to come over here.
Okay. All right.
Because Rita's wearing her fabulous
Can I
dress.
sit?
Would you like to pull up?
I am going to come
We're
over
gonna
here,
really-
and we are going to swivel just a little bit.
Well,
And now we
And now
have.
you can sit.
And now we have.
grab a chair and
Rita.
come on over, honey.
Okay.
No, grab a chair. Come on over.
Okay.
You have a thought. You have thoughts and opinions. We'd like to hear them.
I do. Now we have Jonna
You have to
out
move
of
close.
screen, but
Yeah, that's okay. I'll do this.
well, I won't be here that long. I'll just
She's running
and then
away.
we can move the camera back. Yes.
I'm gonna do this. I get comfortable with my big pillow.
We have Rita.
There we go. Now we
Hi.
have all four ladies on screen. This is Rita.
Hi.
For those of you who don't know, this is the other broad in the blanket fort.
This is Methyl Ermin.
Methyl Orman, Rita Beeman, who's written some stories under that name.
Uh-huh.
And
dresser
one classy
extraordinaire.
dame.
One
Yes.
classy
Thank
dame
you.
with an amazing shoe collection that I get when she dies. It's on record.
And
If I die under circumstances.
and a fabulous wardrobe. Like,
Oh.
I
Really,
Yes.
Rita is like, one of the things I adore about Rita is a woman of substance. She's like a satin covered down comforter. And
Aw.
she's just gorgeous and wonderful, and the most unique personal style.
And
because-
not the cheap polyester satin.
no,
It's not
no.
satin, technically. So, yeah,
no,
actual
but
satin.
she always
thing.
has the most interesting dresses like this one.
This is my oh dear dress. It's got the little deer all over it.
So
Actually,
cute.
I was coming over to talk about a big, since you brought up that pet peeve topic of mine. From the time that I mean, being a short person and everything, or not just, I mean, I didn't realize I was short until about 5 years ago, honestly. But
Tall personality.
Yeah.
yeah,
You
it's
have a big personality.
it's a
and you
plus
don't
size.
feel like-
People think I'm 5'10" all the time, and I tell them I'm 5'4", and they're like,
That's because they
"No."
pee themselves when they, yeah. Anyway,
It's the hair on fire.
yeah,
You know,
that's
it's like-
it.
adds a few inches.
By the time that I was very small, one of the things I figured out was that, and I didn't realize that I'd won some kind of big butt lottery, But when I was in high school,
Mhm.
I was about 120 pounds. I was about 5'2", with a 20-inch waist and a
Mhm.
butt that I had to wear like an 11, 12 jean.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And I had a really flat stomach. I didn't know I had a J-Lo bod. My boobs
Oh, you
boobs
were
were
just
up.
ahead of the curve, as
Yeah,
usual.
literally.
As,
And
yeah.
but the thing is, what I hated was all these. I wasn't shaped like the cute girls and all that, or the girls who
Mhm.
had the figures I thought were ideal and everything. But one of the things my mother did impress upon me was like, you may not be able to wear what is the cool thing at the moment. The important thing is that you find things that you like that are flattering for the shape that you are. And they
Yes.
will not necessarily coordinate or correspond to what is considered the trendy, faddish, or fashionable thing. But my mom always told me
Mhm.
that things that are well made, that fit you well, will always be in style.
Yes.
As long, especially you get things that are classic cut. That's what I look for in my dresses.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And my ideal dress, honestly, would be what I Love Lucy wore.
Right?
Yes.
That's a beautiful dress. Even though I don't have like the bullet bra thing going on and all that, but
Never.
Do we really
No.
want the conical bras?
no, I don't.
No.
I don't want a conical. But you
Things
know
that
what?
should not return in fashion is a whole nother podcast.
It was a look. But the thing is, I'm seeing, and um, I think one plague we're seeing is that people went into COVID one size and they came out COVID another size.
Mm-hmm.
And in my case, I'm smaller than I was, but has nothing to do with. But anyway, whatever. I digress. But but those same young ladies I'm seeing that come to campus
Mhm.
in their pre-COVID hoochie mama britches with and I feel like I'm not prudish about people showing their skin and stuff like that, but find what looks good on you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And yeah, and I feel like there's some balancing act in between wearing something that is flattering and maybe kind of stylish.
Mhm.
And then and what you said though, I realized that what I just said is kind of a counter to I think what you said, Jonna, about
Mhm.
you shouldn't be shamed about what you wear, and I guess it just shamed a bunch of people.
No.
But what I'm
It's
saying
like,
is,
no, they shouldn't shame you into thinking that because you have a style outside of the norm
Mhm.
or a body outside of the norm that you can't look good in your clothes.
Okay, that's a
Right,
good
yeah.
point. Yeah,
Yeah.
So, because very often we are told if you are not this perfect shape, you are wrong no matter what you do.
exactly.
Yes.
Right.
So yeah, it's all about presentation.
Yeah.
Find what works for you, and
Mhm.
I just don't feel like, and that's another thing is like, if you're not the perfect shape, should
Mhm.
your whole life be on hold? Should people not go to the beach just because they're not, they're
Yeah.
not
Mm-hmm.
a
Right.
swimsuit model?
Yeah.
Wait,
Yeah.
wait, that's another story, isn't it? Now the swimsuit issue.
Swimsuits are a whole
Yeah.
different world.
Maybe
so-
that should be a topic, the swimsuit issue.
Oh,
That's one of the
there
things
we
that
go.
I realized, depending on the cut of the jeans. Now I own more. I own a stack of jeans probably about my height, and I've cut back. This is down to one stack. But there's 6 different sizes in that stack of jeans,
Mhm.
depending on where they fall.
Because
Yeah.
life.
Because I have a 10, depending on the time of the month, 10 to 12 inch difference between my waist and my hips.
Mhm.
And that's going to be, and if you're wearing low cut, low rise jeans, that's going to be a different size than if they're the high rise jeans.
Yeah.
Because they're going to fall differently.
Well, and of course, I mean, I think we've all probably grumbled about the fact that a woman's size 16 in one brand is not the same thing in another brand is
And
not
this
the same
is where the
thing in
professional
another brand.
steps in and explains to you why that stupidity exists.
Mhm.
Now, men, because men are pretty much shaped the same way and only like if bigger stomachs or no butt or they have no acetol disease, right? They're pretty straightforward T-shaped things.
Mhm.
Women are not.
Nope.
So manufacturers do this thing called choosing a fit model, where they find somebody who is the exact measurements that they believe a size 10 is, which, by the way, is plus size in fashion.
Mhm.
What the hell?
Oh gosh.
Get me
Yeah.
back on that one. But they will take the measurements of this person and they will make all of their size 10 stuff to match that body. A different manufacturer will find a different person that they consider to be a size 10 and they will measure that person and then they will. Nobody could just like go to the design standards for manufacturing and look at what the mean average is. The middle average is for women who are about a size 10 and use that. No, they have to pick their very own.
Mm-hmm.
So every single clothing manufacturer has a different size for size 10.
Mm-hmm.
Now, mind you, I fit anywhere from an 18 to a 26 because of fit models. And I can lay the clothing right on top of each other, and they are all the exact same size.
Mm-hmm.
So we're taught, oh, just buy it by your size. Well, that doesn't work.
No, it
Mm-mm.
doesn't.
There's nothing about that works. But
Size
you have
is a
to,
place to start.
well, and size is it's a neighborhood
Yeah.
that's like a suburb with really big lots. Because that it just doesn't work that way. What you need to do is figure out what your hip measurement is and take a measuring tape and half of the measurement across the hips and go, oh, these will fit me, and not give a shit what the number is on the tag of what
Yeah.
the size is.
Mm.
Because that's what works.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And we're just like, people are so desperate to be like, I don't want to be a size this. I don't want to be in double digits. I'm like,
Mm-hmm. Well,
who cares?
my grandmother, who had the same ass to hip ratio
Mm-hmm.
that I do,
Yeah.
and was 90 pounds
Yeah.
for most of her life, but had the same ratio.
Mm-hmm.
Would have to buy 3 sizes up, get them tailored down,
Yeah.
and she went through and cut out the size on all of her pants, so nobody knew what size she wore because it made her crazy. And this
Yeah.
is a woman who, if she weighed over 100 pounds, she did not eat that day.
Mm.
So
I mean,
not a healthy,
No, I
but
was
she
gonna
was
say, that's really
she was
unhealthy.
this big with a massive ass,
Yeah.
and and the entire family looks like that.
She was like a reverse lollipop.
Yeah.
She was like those women who have giant heads, but they've starved themselves so skinny that they
So-
look like lollipops.
Yeah, there's nothing else holding them up. There's stick.
Well, I mean,
But-
because they're trying to achieve a false.
They're
it's just-
going for
yeah.
heroin chic, but
Heroin chic. Oh my God.
heroin chic was heroin chic for a reason.
Well, so yes, so John is fashion rant.
Yes.
We could do the pattern company rants too.
And I think as much as anything, it is the fact that we're held to artificial standards. So the
Mhm.
girls in the hoochie mama pants that are running around campus with their muffin tops spilling out over them because they can't admit to themselves that they gained 10 pounds. They think that that's what they have to look like, they have to wear, and they can't just embrace the fact that they are where they're at and then buy the sizes that they need.
Because
And
they've been
they've-
told they're wrong for being that
Right.
size.
Right.
Well, they've also there's the fat acceptance thing, which pisses.
Oh yeah,
I hate that thing.
I hate
don't,
that
but
as
it's,
much.
It's
Right.
I have a muffin top, so I have to flaunt it so I can show that I'm comfortable in my body. It's like, no, put on clothes that fit you,
Right.
Yeah.
because enjoy your body, have what you like, cover it appropriately. I'm not saying cover it all up, but cover it in ways that make you comfortable, because it is not comfortable. I will tell you right now, it's not comfortable to be running around with a muffin top.
No.
No, because you get in a car, you just like scrape your sides. I'm just like, no. I mean, protect all those lovely curves.
I think it does come back to some wrong perceptions
Yeah.
that, and I don't know if part of the problem is that these young people were not read to when they were babies, when they were going to sleep at night. But I think that's a factor. But read to your children, read to your grandchildren, your nieces, your nephews. Read to them. But I think they don't have a healthy sense of. I don't think they have self-awareness, and I think they have this perception that if I'm young, this is what kids my age wear. This is what I should be wearing, and they're conflating a fashion or a fad with being young, and
Well, also, define. You're so searching for your identity that you want to be like that, so you dress like that.
yeah,
Yeah.
Right? Thinking that the dressing like that is what makes you that,
yeah.
which
Yeah.
is not the case. So,
As I will say I was looking back now. It was frustrating as all get out at that time. Looking back now, when I was of an age, nothing that was made for people my age fit me,
yeah,
Mhm.
same problem.
and so I had to find clothes that fit me.
Yeah.
And even just enough to cover my body, because I was a weightlifter. I was built like a fucking running back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and and nothing worked. So I was forced out of the this is what everybody's wearing right now because no.
It didn't fit you.
I like if I wanted a whale tail. Do you guys remember whale tails?
Oh my God, yes.
They didn't make pants that size.
No. No.
It didn't exist.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you were like a size 14, you got stuck into the women's polyester clothing section at JCPenney.
Yep.
Which was horrifying, to say the least.
Donna, I
So,
think this is
yes. Pardon me, I have to go do something.
Hello. And speaking of fashion,
Yes. And I mean, for me, it's a combination of, I don't like the whole fat acceptance movement because there is a healthy relationship between your body and and your fat, and having some is fine and having too much is too much. And so I see these people and I'm just like, no, there's a balance. You have to find a balance.
be comfortable in your body, but recognize that maybe something's unhealthy,
Yeah.
and find out why it's unhealthy. It shouldn't be you're unhealthy because of this. This is a marker of something that you need to address.
Right.
I feel like one thing about the fat acceptance movement, I have a problem with. This is going to sound. I'm going to have to. I should have thought of this before I started talking about it. Sorry.
It's okay.
But the whole like the swimsuit issue where they're like putting quite corpulent models on that and everything, and the people who read the magazine are not digging it. The truth of it is, there's a lid for every pot. Whatever you are, whatever your unique or distinctive features are, somebody is out there who's really into you.
Yeah.
And you don't have to feel like you've got to be something different than you are, or that you have to change to feel fulfilled and have happy, loving relationships in your life. And I think that is, again, forcing something like a long-standing tradition of a magazine to change what it presents on a much beloved and expected issue is, I think, wrong-headed. And I don't think it's winning friends, and I don't think it's making people recognize, oh my gosh, these women are beautiful, and they are all beautiful.
Right.
They look fantastic.
Oh yeah.
But you know what? There are venues for showing or for that kind of model for calendars and what have you. But but this kind of idea that everyone has to admit that yes, absolutely, you can be a different size and be beautiful. No, realistically, it's not realistic to expect everyone to get on board and be generous and non-judgmental. It's just we're wired that way. We are differentiation machines.
Yeah.
If you don't like it, good, walk on. You don't have to compliment me. You don't have to say you like it. You don't have to say you're into me. But I also don't feel like me being who I am, I need to go force anything on anyone else.
Right.
And that's
Right.
what's weird. It's the social censure that I have a problem with.
Yeah, because we're in a conflict between evolutionary biology and wanting to have the social justice of equality for everyone, and it's one of those things that I think that social change is something that is necessary, but I don't think that social activism actually achieves its goal.
Yes.
Also,
Also,
I think it actually does the opposite.
Yeah.
wouldn't it be nice if nobody was ever nasty and people were just nice to each other and live and let live? Wouldn't that be
Yes,
great?
that would
How
be-
hard is that?
Evidently hard because
Apparently.
because it does seem like it's
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, come sit there.
Come sit
where
there.
John always sits.
She'll be right back, and then I'll just move. That way I can sit here and kind of be normal
And
for
you
a
can
second.
be comfortable.
Oh, I have to lean in, don't I?
Just a little bit.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. I'm leaning in.
So we
That's
can all
a
be
thing.
cozy.
That's apparently a thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's one of those things that, well, I mean, just before we started this, I realized that something I had been told when I was a teenager, maybe early 20s, was totally wrong. And so for all these years, are you gonna sit there, or do you want me to
I was
move the
gonna give you-
camera
I'll
so
give
you
you
guys
a
can
sit-
both be on the couch?
I'll give you your seat back, and I'm gonna go do.
Oh,
that.
you have stuff to do, honey?
I do have some stuff to listen. I didn't mean to derail.
No,
your-
No, this is-
You are more than welcome.
We've been wanting to have you on, but
Everyone
you're busy,
keeps asking,
so we're like,
where is Rita? It's like, she's busy.
Oh man. Yeah. I'm usually still at my office and grading or something at this time of day and everything. But
Yeah.
yeah, the thing is, the last thing on earth I would do when I was in college in the late '90s when the internet was kind of cranking up at that point.
Mhm.
And I seriously considered having a fashion police kind of thing. I was going to campus or at UNT in Denton, going to school, and there was a lot going on. And there are always questionable things on campus because isn't college all about experimenting and everything? But later on I realized I thought about it the other day. I thought, I'm so thankful I didn't do that, because I wouldn't want to be shaming people. I don't want to.
Yeah.
I don't want to post a photograph of somebody that's unflattering that they would feel embarrassed or ashamed to have out there. And I'm so glad that for whatever reason I didn't do it, because that would just be crappy.
It's so easy to get I've struggled with this. Anybody who's seen me at cons.
We have photograph moments we can talk about, right?
And it's so easy to get an unflattering photograph of someone in an outfit that they're really proud of.
Yeah.
And it's like there are people who will deliberately take bad pictures for whatever reason.
They love
of
to share
outfits.
that stuff, don't they?
Yeah.
I think because it is easy. I mean, it's a whole lot harder to approach someone and be like, and want to help. Because first of all, the person's probably not going to reject the idea of
Welcome
being helped.
to my entire existence.
I know.
Oh my God.
I guess a lot of this comes down to also about the whole subjective thing about opinions being like belly buttons and all that. But there's also the thing.
Not everybody has one.
Oh, really?
It's true.
Okay.
Some people have had hernia surgery.
Okay.
That's true.
That's interesting.
I know, things I know.
Not
like a
everybody
balloon.
has an opinion then.
I'm thinking of, no.
There are times when I don't. Like
Yeah.
that's a thing.
I'm with y'all. I'm with y'all. That oh, this is surreal because it's not the mirror image.
Okay.
Back
Mhm.
into do you want to take the spot back and then I'll move over? I can stay. I can be the.
Oh, we
edge.
good?
Move over.
Okay. We'll just do merry-go chairs.
There we go.
Yes, as women do. We just rearrange the furniture, right?
To make it work for us.
So yeah,
There you go.
I have a photograph.
My
story.
hair's probably falling down onto this as I
An
move
appalling
things.
photograph.
I
An
might have
appalling.
post, so we're okay. I had mine in the post anyway, so no, we're good. We don't need to rearrange things. So, it's gonna come off the edge if you do
No,
that.
it's not.
Anyhow, so I have a photograph picture story of somebody taking a flattering picture of me.
Oh.
So when I was flying down to Burbank to go pick out costumes, Western costumes for Hairspray, which was really wonderful, I was wearing my comfy jeans and my Hawaiian shirt, and I happened to be sitting in the very front row, next to the bulkhead in the 2-seat little buzz plane that went down there from Eugene, Oregon. And I was so delighted because I was sitting there, right? So, and this is from Portland, and this guy came around the corner, got on the plane, and obviously had the seat next to me and looked at me, and he was wearing a very snazzy LA suit, right? Because he was Mr. LA with his perfectly coiffed hair and everything. He was like, ugh. And then sat down next to me. Because very obviously he did not want to sit next to some old fat woman.
Right.
Right? So we get off the plane. I just ignored him for the entire time because whatever. And he was, writing very important emails to whoever. So we get off the plane and we go off to get our rental cars, and he happened to be going to the same rental car area. And I heard him talking on the phone as we were going. He didn't realize I was right around the corner. Oh my God, I had to sit next to this totally fat woman, and it was the worst thing ever. And he comes around the corner, and I don't look at him, and he says, oh, there she is. I'll take a picture of her for you. He took a picture of me.
Rude.
Yeah.
Very rude.
And kept talking on his phone.
Mm-hmm.
So I circle around behind him because not one to miss an opportunity. Walked up behind him and I said, oh, hey, he's kind of an asshole to sit next to in a plane. And he turned around very startled. And I was like, I saw what you did, asshole, and walked away. But people assume they can get away with that kind of bullshit,
Yeah.
and be judgmental. And I'm like, no, that is not okay. That is not okay to do that kind of crap. So, and a couple of people around us have discovered if they say shit like that, they get it from us just as bad.
Oh yeah.
Like, how dare some fat woman be in a bikini on the beach? I mean, how dare we want sunshine on our bodies and the warm sea on our
Right.
skin?
Can I just point out I do not want sunshine on my body because I will probably combust.
I will say I don't think I've owned a one piece in 20 years.
Mm-hmm.
Everything I own is either a bikini or a tankini
Mhm.
because I'm gonna wear what I want and be comfortable.
Yeah,
And if you don't like it, I don't give a shit.
and you
Yeah.
should.
I would
Yeah.
just not look, asshole.
My problem
Yeah.
is just the beacons are lit. Gondor calls free.
You and I are not allowed to be on the beach together in a swimsuit because, oh my god, we would blind everybody. I'm a pasty white girl, so and then we'd look like tomatoes together, so because we
Ow.
would burn.
Yes.
instantly.
Yeah.
So-
Yes. Ow.
but yeah, this I just. So anyway, the person I had to go talk to, I just altered a prom dress for her oldest daughter,
Yeah.
which was moving the straps, and she picked a really beautiful, elegant brown, chocolate brown satin.
Oh, I saw the
Gorgeous
fabric. That was
dress.
lovely.
And it was beautiful. And I asked her when she came in and tried it on, when I was adjusting the straps for her, I said, why did you pick this? She said, I really don't like what they think we want to wear for prom dresses.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, well, you made a beautiful classic choice that's just
Yeah.
gorgeous with her skin and everything.
Yeah.
So I'm talking to her mom, who just picked it up. And she says, I have another daughter. And she just got a last minute invitation to prom. And we had to order a dress off Amazon.
Oh no.
And I was like, and she doesn't quite fit because she's got kind of a bust line. And it's a size 14. And I'm like, you don't have to whisper that.
Yeah.
Not
But
in
her
this
daughter
room.
is horrified that she has to buy a size 14.
Oh.
Her daughter is
poor thing.
horrified that she has to buy a size 14 dress.
And a size 14 is
Because-
not big.
Well, no, it's for the bust line. And she says, well, I
Right.
bought big and we figured we could just have it tailored down. I said, yeah.
That's what
And I
we're
said,
gonna
and I'll
do.
tell her that a size 14 doesn't really mean a size 14.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to
yeah.
talk to this lovely young woman who I'm sure is
Yeah.
going to be absolutely beautiful in her dress,
Mhm.
Right.
who already feels insecure about being in a 14.
Yeah. And how traumatic is that for a teenager to
Yes.
It just,
because you've hit that, I was not a size 4. I think I might have been size 4 in like 3rd grade.
I was born a size 8 and went from there.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just how it is.
Like I
you know?
was never there. I will never be there. I was like, oh no, you can get there eventually. Yeah, no. That is
No.
a specific
My bones
genetic
won't
type.
even be a size 4.
Yeah. No.
So,
That is a specific genetic abnormality to be that small.
Yeah.
And that doesn't mean that if you are that size, that's not a bad thing. That's just how your genetics have expressed themselves.
yes.
Well, even my sister, who looks like Galadriel in the Lord of the Rings movie, not like the actress that plays her, but actually like what the character role there. When the first time I saw that, I was like, "Holy crud, it's my sister!" She looks like
Wow.
that, and she still wears a size 10.
Yeah.
I mean, she's very consistent size all the way through. But unfortunately, she was unable to have kids.
My fashion
My body
rant
changed.
and my fashion desire is that we remove the statement of value that gets attached to the number,
Yeah.
because it doesn't mean anything.
Yeah.
It doesn't make you less than. It doesn't make you more than. It just. I mean, I'm sorry if you're a size 0. I'm kind of concerned, or you're just a young girl who's tiny.
Yeah.
Well,
You know.
one of the things I loved was and I actually really felt for some girls I knew because I had to buy an evening gown every year for a very long time, and I love that I could walk into Dillard's, JCPenney, wherever, and all the aftermarket prom dresses, they
Yeah.
all had stuff in my size.
Yay!
So I could buy an evening gown for $10, and I did.
Mhm.
Whereas there were these other girls that were a size 00.
Yeah.
And
so tiny.
They had trouble finding a dress, and then they
Yeah.
had to get them taken in
Yeah.
because they were so tiny
They're
to
just
get
small.
them to fit. And it's just like, and I have a whole wardrobe full of, I don't have them anymore, I've given them away, of
Yeah.
evening gowns, and they had to reuse the same one a couple of years in a row because
They
they
couldn't find
literally
anything.
couldn't find anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I really felt for them. Like, flashbacks to me in high school where the 2 years I went to prom, nobody sold anything but pastels.
Oh God.
And if you put me in baby blue, pastel pink makes you look naked, by the way. Like the
Yeah,
little
no, with your skin color.
Yep.
Mhm.
Like
Yeah.
so, like I own pink shirts, but I wear them with black because otherwise I look naked. I have T-shirts where I've had pictures where I've taken pictures in those shirts. And like I have a shirt on, I promise. But me in pastels is bad, bad,
Yeah.
bad, bad. So I made my own prom dresses because otherwise, like, who wants to get
Same
sent
thing.
to prom like
Mhm.
that?
Yeah.
Like, I
Yeah.
didn't give a crap what the size was. I just wanted to look not dead.
Or not dumpy, or wearing
Yeah.
something too tight that didn't fit well.
Yeah.
Or I think the thing that annoys me the most is that it is possible for everybody to look good with proper fitting.
Yes.
So you can imagine what it's like for me to walk through a mall or
Mhm.
Walmart
Mm-hmm.
or conventions even, where I see people who are like so close to having something that would just like give me a half an hour. Just give me a
Yeah.
half an hour with you to fix it and make it just right.
Yeah.
You
That
know?
that
And
used
it's
to be
like
something.
you can't look like a movie star because every single thing they have on has had that treatment.
Yeah, it's all been
Mhm.
tailored.
Unless you do
All
it
been tailored.
yourself
Yeah.
or you
Yeah.
are absolutely perfectly built for whatever the size model is,
Mhm.
Right.
you will never look like that because
Yeah.
it's all custom made
Yep.
Mhm.
and custom fitted. So, and we all deserve that.
Mhm.
I mean, we all deserve clothing that just is exactly right in the right proportion. And
Mhm.
but it's all because women are so varied and so different. That's a really hard thing to find off the rack.
Yeah.
So
And you can't make a broad pronouncement. It's one of the things I used to love to do. Like, I enjoy shopping. I know nobody else does.
No, I actually
But-
indulge in retail therapy sometimes, but
I don't like going to grocery stores. I
Mhm.
find them frustrating and irritating, and old ladies with slow carts turns me into a monster.
Yes.
So
Well, one thing I do is I
terrible.
like I go to the mall to see what's new this week. Like, I literally do. Like, that's my thing. I will go to
Mhm.
7 different stores, a lot of which can't wear anything at, but I want to see what's new
Yeah.
and to see what's there. And so one of the things I used to do is, because that was my way of winding down, I knew what everything was out, what the styles were, what the
Mhm.
sales were going on, pay attention to all of that. So I used to take friends who had been out of work for a while, needed a suit, and had $20.
mm-hmm.
It's like, let's go to the mall. No, I hate the mall. No, trust me. We're going to go, and it's going to take us some time, but you will have a suit that's good for an interview.
Yeah.
And that was one of the things I used to love to do, was put them in something that fits.
I used to do that too. I would take people. I'm like, no. I took a friend out who she was a tall, elegant woman, but she always looked kind of frumpy.
Mm-hmm.
I could not figure out why she looked frumpy. And then we went to the store, and I said, well, pick out something you like, and let's take a look at it and see. And she picked out a size 10. She was a size 6,
Oh.
but she thought she was a size 10.
Yep.
Uh-huh.
So she kept buying size 10. And I'm like, why? That's not the right.
Yeah.
So then I put her in like a figure hugging sheet that just skimmed over, and she was like, oh! I'm like, yeah!
Mhm.
So.
I had one. When I worked at Lane Bryant, I had one client who came in, and she'd been working really hard to lose some weight, and her husband's like, fix her, and I look like, there's
Oh,
nothing
no.
wrong with her, and so like when we got into it, and I was about to hit him, quite frankly. And I said,
Yeah.
okay, so what's the problem? And she's like, I was size 26, and I'm like, no, you are not.
No.
And we go over, and she's into a size 18, and she started crying
Right?
because she'd never seen herself in something that fit her properly. We
Well,
put her in something, and her husband's like, that's what I'm trying to show you. And I'm like, okay, I like you. You can
you're
stick
better
around.
now.
But
You're better now. Well, that's something we run into a lot, is that you have a very hard time seeing your true edges.
Yes.
You know, we all have a certain bit of dysphoria about what our shape actually is and where our edges actually are. And because we've been told so many things over the years by so many other people.
Mhm.
And witness today,
Right.
Long torso, short legs, evidently not.
no. So it's like, who told you that, and were they blind? It's like, but I do that a lot. But anyway,
Mhm.
yeah. So, but it's hard for us to see ourselves.
Mhm.
You know, it's being objective about your shape and where your edges truly are, and dressing to those edges is a skill.
Mhm.
And very often requires somebody else who can be honest enough with you to say, nope, not that,
Yeah.
or yes, this, no, not that. You know,
And until
so-
you learn it,
mhm.
until you learn the shapes, so that you can see them without thinking about it.
Yeah,
It's not, and they change.
they do.
Rita, can I ask you something?
Mhm.
How did you figure it out? Because you dress so beautifully. I
Oh,
mean,
that's
ever since
so-
I've met you,
That's so
I've
nice.
always been like, I love your sense of style, your color and pattern choices. And I'm always just like, how did you do that?
Well, I do. I stick to certain colors. There's one color I avoid, and it's not just the straight pink. It's that kind of salmon, like cooked salmon,
Oh,
that kind
yes.
of shrimp color. You know
Yes.
the one. I look like you were saying. I look washed out, and I look like I don't know what. I look cadaverous in that color. It's weird, but I don't know. The weird thing about that, it's funny to me that you say that because I don't and have never owned. I've never owned a full length mirror, and I was just the funny thing that you're about this is, I was just about to ask y'all if you'd ever like had something you thought I look amazing, and then you get out and you see yourself in a full length mirror, and you're like, I've got to burn this when I get home. I mean, for me, it's trial and error. But one thing I like, the classic dress that I wear, is it's just kind of a shape that works for me, and I
Yeah.
try and stick with that.
Yeah.
Actually, and one thing that's really improved in the last couple of years is because there's this fabulous lady in my town now, and and there have been things that I've worn, and I've asked Jonna, and she's like, or I've bought a dress, and she goes, that is, don't ever wear that neckline again. I have actually, the weird thing is I have this one dress, and I brought it out. I've lost some weight, and I brought some dresses over to the shop a few months ago, and
Yeah, we
and
went
I
through
said,
a bunch of them.
and I asked, I said, can I get your opinion? Is this do I keep it or Goodwill? And I put on this one dress, and it was one. The funny thing is, every time I've worn it, and the color, I thought it was so cute. It had an exaggerated Peter Pan collar that was that was engineered to make me look way fatter than I am.
Oh.
And
She put it on and went, never buy that dress
That's
style
what she
ever
said.
again.
And the funny thing is, I have it in 2 colors.
Oh
I
no.
was like, we
But-
could probably save it by taking the collar completely off.
Okay.
But
Well,
but wow, it was like, no.
No, they went to Goodwill that night.
Good.
They went right in a bag, and I was taking a bag to Goodwill. So that was just, it was like, I will not make this mistake
Nope.
again. I don't know though. It's been a trial and error thing, but I did find a source where I can custom order things to my measurements.
Shakti.
Shakti, and I get my.
I have a wish list from there like a mile long. I swear.
Yes.
And
It's
that's
gorgeous.
the other thing that when we were talking about sizes, it would be nice if we could go more to measurements. But honestly, I don't even know my measurements.
Gee, you don't know anybody who
Well,
can help you with
I
that.
realized that, and we've talked about it. But if
Yeah,
it's
knowing
just
what your
me-
measurements are and getting your measurements taken on a regular
Right,
basis really
right.
matters. Even it's worth paying a dressmaker to come in and make sure they know how to take measurements in the first place.
Yeah,
Because
Right.
That's the thing too. Is
because I've gone to conventions where like, we'll teach you how to take measurements, and I'm like, that's so wrong. So no.
And with the
that
thing
might
is,
be a video.
It's totally a video, but it also it's a class that I teach consistently at conventions, and I'm totally happy to do measurements for people.
I will say there are a lot of men's stores
Yeah.
that where they'll get stuff custom made and custom tailored.
Mhm.
They will take women's measurements, and a lot of them will have a women's line that they don't advertise, but it
Yeah.
exists.
Yeah.
I was going to say about the measurements when you're ordering something too, make sure that you build in some ease.
Yes.
When I order on eShakti, the first thing I ordered, I looked like it came in. It was like a sausage casing. It was I was like a tube of Rita. It was
It's
special.
squeezing her out.
It was very it was very form
You
fitting.
were a tube of frosting.
That's it.
Just ready for decoration.
I was
It's
10
like-
pounds of sugar in a 5-pound bag. It was like I had a muffin neck because it was all squoze up here. Not really. It wasn't that bad, but they very graciously. I said I messed up. I wrote them and I said I messed up. I didn't account for being able to move in my clothing.
Yes.
And they very graciously let me send the dress back and gave me full credit. And I ordered something with a few inches added on all the dimensions. And I made more than a few for the butt. But anyway, I just made sure that
Yeah.
But I think it comes down to figuring out what is the most flattering thing for your shape.
Mhm.
Anyway,
Trial
I
and
like
error.
yeah,
Well,
exactly.
I know
And
with-
belts exist.
Yeah, belts do exist, and I was gonna say with my kids, and I mean, not necessarily my older daughter who has an innate sense of style. I swear, the child just always. But with my 3 younger kids, 2 girls and a boy, and they all hated to try things on. They wanted to just have something and go home with it and not worry about it. And with the girls in particular, because my my second daughter, my redhead, is tall.
Yeah.
And she has been in the 95th percentile for height and weight since she was an infant.
Yeah.
So she is a big, Romanesque girl, and
Mhm.
she's gorgeous, but she's very uncomfortable with it because she's
Well, everything
I
she
haven't
tries
been able
on
to-
doesn't fit.
right,
Yeah.
right, and
Yeah.
I haven't been necessarily helpful to her in that, which I kind of feel bad about. And
Yeah.
then my youngest daughter has a sense of style that is just quirky and wonderful, and she's kind of got it figured out. But my son will like absolutely flat refuses to try stuff on, which drives me crazy. And I don't know if that's everybody that's like that when they're young, or
Well, part of it too is because you're so. I will say, from the land of going and trying on stuff, as a teenager, I insisted on going by myself because I didn't want the embarrassment of it didn't fit. So
Well, and that was
Yeah.
that's why when I went on my journey to find what fits, I went by myself.
yeah,
Because having the outside input was not helpful, because
No.
the people I had to give me input were at their best mistaken, or had a vision of what I should look like that they were trying to make me fit into.
or they were being nice when it wasn't.
When it wasn't
When you needed
appropriate, I needed honesty. Yeah. My son insisted on buying his own clothes around the age of 15, and for various reasons, and
he has a really good sense of style.
yeah,
He's a-
and but he'll go and try stuff on by himself, or but
Yeah.
because of he knows what he wants, he's got a better. He actually has his measurements written down, and we've taken his measurements regularly since he was 6.
He's been growing like a weed since he was 6.
Well, he wanted a kilt, and so I hand made him a kilt every year for
Yeah.
several
that's cool.
years.
Yeah.
And now he buys his own. And you know, and Mom, if you have time, but otherwise, if you don't have like 2 weeks to do this, then I'm gonna go buy it on Amazon. I'm like, by all means. And so he goes like, I bought these 4.
My kind of shopper. Yeah.
He has a very unique and certain sense of style and of who he is and what he wants. The picture of us at my dad's memorial service where it looks like we're 2 steampunk pirates who are about to raid the baseball field.
That's
But
perfect.
That's
It's-
perfect though.
It
right?
really is.
And but it's he had to go find his own thing because he knew he saw how I shopped. He saw how the rest of the family shopped. And he's like, well, I want to do what she does, but I don't want her with me, so I'm going to go do my own thing.
Yeah. You just made me realize something. So my son, you guys have mostly seen him in his slouchy jeans and t-shirts. But this is also the kid that when he was 3 used his Christmas money to buy himself a 3-piece suit. And he has liked dressing like that ever since. He has a zoot suit
He has
in
a
the
zoot
closet.
suit. But once, which I did tell him, I said, when you get to the point where you're ready for me to tailor that, I'm happy
Yeah.
to do that. Because he's like a perfect build for a zoot suit.
Oh yeah, no,
He's
and it
perfectly
looks.
built
I
for
mean,
that.
he looks like a blonde Guido in it, but it's
He
really
does.
looks good on him.
Yeah.
But I just realized if he does get into the military the way he wants to,
Uh-huh.
I can't wait till he meets a dress uniform.
Oh my god.
Right.
He'll love
He's going
that.
to love that.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was when these with my son, he had to wear either, because he went to a private school for his entire life. They said you can either wear the uniform or you can dress up. And so he saved his money and we went and got him custom tailored suits so he could dress up every day for school because he did not want to wear a uniform.
Well, there you go.
And he wasn't gonna, he wasn't gonna go the rebel route and just kind of like alter what the uniform just within the guidelines. He's like, they gave me an out, so I'm wearing. And he actually went and got permission to wear his kilt as part of his uniform
Well, there you go.
Oh, nice.
because he's like, it's dressing up. They're like, it's a skirt. He's like, it's a kilt. Let me explain to you why you're wrong.
Yeah.
But it was he made that choice to dress up and not down.
Yeah.
And so that might be an answer for Johan, where he doesn't want to try this on, but he wants to dress up. So his not working and not going to class look can be more elevated.
Yeah.
You know, Logan wears the vest every day. He's not going to class.
Wear the
Yeah,
nice
well-
clothes. Don't leave them in the closet.
Yeah.
Right
Well,
now,
Heck yeah.
yeah.
Right.
right now my kid is either working or in school and welding, so no good clothes. So for that,
Yeah.
7 days a
No.
week. So it's gonna be a while before he's
But
able to.
it's a way
Yeah.
to convince him to
Yeah, no,
try it on so it
it
fits
is a
and
good,
looks nicer.
it is a good idea, and I should probably remind him about the zoot suit.
I'm trying to think of other things about fashion.
Well, I was gonna say that one thing for me that I've noted is that I was encouraged, taught to dress a certain way growing up. You and I talked a little bit about this.
Yeah.
Similar backgrounds and similar reasons for dressing girl children in certain ways. So I grew up where, because I was a tomboy, so I was either in working clothes, which was like jeans and flannel shirts and stuff, because I was splitting
hammerman.
firewood and whatnot. But I thought for a long time, okay, there's a whole other story there that I'm probably not going to get into for this. That's a whole nother one. So I wore skirts for a long time for a reason. And then I stopped doing that. I went back to jeans sometimes and skirts sometimes, but I find that I'm more comfortable in dresses because that's what I grew up wearing. So that's...
I prefer dresses.
I was gonna
Yeah.
say, I have a rant regarding small girls. So, Katie, my daughter, thank God she got me. I was very annoyed when I was trying to dress her as a little kid because we lived out in the country, you know, and we'd go to Target or JCPenney or wherever to try to find her clothes, and Walmart in particular was rather egregious because we went into the girls section and there was little short skirts and little crop tops and little ruffles everywhere with stick-on belly button piercings.
Oh my God.
And I was like, how about we just dress them up for the pedophiles now?
Yeah.
You know, where's the clothes where she can run in the yard and play, you know?
Right.
So we were like, we kind of stood in there and she's like, oh, I can't do this, Mom. And I'm like, I'm kind of with you. So we went to the boys section
Yeah.
and got the jeans and the t-shirts.
Yep.
And, you know, I still want the pink shorts. I'm like, okay, we can get the pink shorts, but... Yeah, and why any child is ever given the option of something white is beyond me. It's like,
Any
who
child.
thought that
Any
that
child,
was a good idea? But I was really annoyed that the hypersexualization of little girls in their clothing. It's
Yeah.
like, I mean, that really annoys me.
Yeah.
And it was like, can we just let children be children, please? Thank you.
And they've dialed it back.
It's not as bad as it was
It's
when
not-
Katie was little.
I
It's
remember
much
looking
better.
at it was just
Yeah.
bad.
Yeah,
It got
and,
really
it's
bad
been,
there for a
she's
while, 'cause
28
no-
now.
No 6-year-old needs to have juicy across the butt of their pants.
No.
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 And I have seen it, and no.
How
It's
about
just-
nothing across the butt of the
Right.
pants?
My word.
It's not a good look for anyone.
The most,
No.
I mean, I thought it was
At
scandalous
any
when it
age.
said Britannia across the top of the pocket on my ass. You know, so, but I mean, there's a point at which it's just like,
Yeah.
but it's a little crazy making, and
Yeah.
this
Yeah.
overemphasis on the only way you are decent and cool is if you're wearing the most expensive whatever. You know?
Right. And I had so one of my girls came to me when she was in middle school, and she really, really wanted, and I'm gonna mispronounce this because I don't have any idea how it's pronounced, Aeropostale.
Oh
She wanted something that was Aeropostale. So we went to our local consignment shop.
yeah.
And we found, and I told her she could not have anything that said the name of the brand on the outside of it.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, no, you're not being a walking billboard.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, I will buy you. And she bought a sweater. It was an Aeropostale sweater, and it was sweater kind of like this, but it had a hood, so it was a hoodie and a sweater, and it was cute, and it worked really nicely for her. But my grandmother, someone that told me that I was long and short, the face. But my grandmother actually told me at one point that she was treating my girls like dress-up dolls. She's like, they're my little living Barbies, and she would buy them the most wildly inappropriate things.
Yeah.
And not like sexualized, but just like ruffles and frills, and we lived on a farm.
You know, I used to walk like this when I was like in kindergarten. Because my mother made me these little ridiculous 60s dresses, because 1968, wow, that was a long time ago. I had the cute little smocked dress top with the skirt with all the curlers under it, and I couldn't even get on the swing. But I had to walk like
I'm
this
like,
because
you
the
would make
skirt
me
was so
adorable,
big.
but no.
Okay, John Benet.
So,
But she never did my hair because my mother didn't understand hair.
Aw.
So I was perpetually stuck with hair, and it was weird. But the word, and granted, she loved making those kinds of things for me because I was a dress-up doll for her.
Mhm.
But it was like, who am I?
yeah.
You
But
know?
my mom used to make me shorts, and there's a reason for this. It was because growing up, I was only girls only wore dresses.
Mhm.
Girls wore dresses. That's
Well,
that's what we
up
wore.
until 6th grade, we weren't allowed to wear pants at school. We could,
Yeah.
and we weren't allowed to wear pantyhose up to 6th
Well,
grade.
it was
We could wear tights, but not pantyhose.
it was a
Mhm.
fight to let me wear my hair long. Like short, long hair was a sign of vanity, so we had to have it all cut off to here.
Are you
Which,
kidding?
if you've seen my hair, it does the poof thing.
Wow,
so I had to get
you
a
must have
perm.
been Dorothy Hamill.
We got a perm.
Anybody who knows who that is anymore.
So I had to have my hair in it. I had a perm for the longest time to keep my hair controlled because otherwise I looked like a freaking. It was
Dandelion
bad.
puff.
Yeah, I
Like a
did.
pom pom.
So I had skirts, but because they couldn't keep me from climbing things, they had to. My mom made me shorts to wear under things because if there was something I could climb, I was on top of it.
Uh-huh.
And she's like, "You're showing your God, put the pants on." So we had. So I had shorts with like bulldogs that were like growling at you, and
That's
like.
cute.
So we got to, and so I could customize those because nobody was supposed to see those. More people saw them than they should have because
You climbed to things.
I climbed things and I ended up upside down half the time because I fell off and got stuck. Uh, but
Climbing
was-
she was good at. Dismount, not so
they were fantastic dresses though because the hems were wonderful. They caught everything.
She put into the climb, not the descent.
much.
She's all about going up and never coming back down.
Nope.
Right.
So I think this is an admirable quality.
But it was like we could customize those and I loved having those and getting older and like okay so like what are my options for putting under a dress because
Yeah.
I'd like to
This
be able
woman
to-
is genius with what she wears under her dresses.
so I
She always has those cute little bloomers.
I have
Or she has
yeah.
these like stretch and they've got like little lace edge things. So if her skirt goes up in the air, which sometimes it does when we're here in Texas.
it's
Yeah, it
freaking
does.
windy.
You
I
get
have
this
You
cute
have
little
that Maryland.
bloomers.
You have that Maryland bus stop moment.
Yeah.
I buy men's boxers.
Did y'all when you were kids? Did your mom, like my mom? I got to tell you about my 2nd grade class picture. That little Sears sets. There were the double those knit pants with the striped shirts
Oh my
that
God.
that matched.
My mother made those for me out of really nasty polyester.
Ooh.
And she would sew the oh my God, she would sew the crease down the front of the polyester pull-on pants
Because that's how the ones from the store had them.
because that's how they were in the store, and it was fancy. It was like the worst version of leisure suits for
Okay,
women.
so they
Yeah,
didn't
but-
make them in my size. We had to order them from a catalog.
With
Oh.
Sears catalog. Sears catalog.
I liked them, and my mom
Oh.
said she just fought me, but and mom made me some cute dresses. I always wore dresses to school, or usually wore dresses, but and this was like early 70s. I would have these dresses with a huge sash, like a kind of a
Oh,
plaid dress with
okay.
a gold
Yeah,
sash and
yeah,
stuff like that.
that was
And
the
the
thing.
giant belt loops and stuff, and
Mhm.
yeah, it was the 70s. But I had this one set
And the
from
hip
the
hugger pants, which I
the
was
suit.
not allowed to wear.
I couldn't wear those either, but I would
I
want
could wear them then. It's really I'm pissed off that I didn't. That
If they-
30 days when I actually had a flat stomach in my life, I was not allowed to wear the pants that would show that off.
that sucks.
So-
But I had the mom got me the Sears outfit. I had the brown pants, the brown and white horizontal striped top, and I
Did you have
dug
the
my
vest?
heels. I didn't get the vest.
Oh,
Never had the
okay.
vest, but I wore those to. I was going to wear those for my class photo, and my mom said that I insisted that I would not be dissuaded from choosing my own ensemble that day. So I wore, and I do enjoy being the fly in the ointment. I look so happy and smiling. I'm sitting on the front row, and there I am in my brown pants and my brown and white top, my white socks, and my red shoes. And many years later, thinking about it, I was like, oh wait, this means that everything I own legally matches everything I own. That's my policy. So That's my philosophy. Everything I own matches everything I own, so
Right, it's true.
I can put it all together.
You do.
Yep.
And you
And you
can.
have been you have been having fabulous shoes since forever.
Yeah, that's right. They were very cute. They were very 70s. Jimi Hendrix would have approved.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Shoe trauma. We're not going
Yeah.
to go there.
Aw.
That's a whole other rant.
I love my red flats, and I love my boot. Oh my god, my boots.
You rock those boots.
I do.
You rock
I have-
all the
I
things.
have a lot of boots.
She has a lot of boots.
I
Well-
found something that works for me.
I would have more boots, but my husband has a tendency to look at them when I bring them home and go, "You need more boots?" And I'm like, "Probably not."
You know what?
And the answer is yes.
Any man.
I don't because
who
you know
looks
what?
and
I need
says,
more boots because I don't have these boots.
do you need more tools? It's like, Tim did that with me like 3 times. Don't you have enough clothes already? Yes. Don't you have enough socket sets?
I
He's
think
like,
the answer to
well,
that is never.
I said, shut it.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
It's like, mm-mm.
I've cut down my wardrobe significantly.
So am
Like,
I.
it
Mostly because
was-
I'm old and tired.
Well, so
Yeah.
you've seen my apartments. My wardrobe
yes.
used to take up 2 closets and the living room.
Yeah.
So it's down to
Her apartment wasn't much bigger than the space, right? It
Yeah.
was like very little. So.
but it all worked. It all fit together. I could wear any piece with any piece.
Mhm. That's my entire
and it
wardrobe used to be
was-
black, so
Mhm.
didn't matter what I
all-
put on in the morning when it was dark.
Well, I was
So-
actually forbidden because of where I worked. I was forbidden from wearing all black. I had to wear if I wore something black, I had to wear a color
Yeah.
or a pattern.
Mhm.
I would do the theater woman of all
Mhm.
black with a really colorful scarf.
Yeah.
So
So, but it was and so I actually started. I mixed and matched. And I had one skirt that I loved in 8 different colors.
yeah,
I had the blazer
When
that I
you
loved
find
in 8
something
different
that
colors.
works, right?
And I had teal and orange. The orange was a very, very specific day, but do not put me in orange.
If she's wearing orange, it means she's ready to go to jail.
Like,
So
we're
do
we're getting ready to be arrested. Okay,
I am pre-dressed, honey. Just put me in jail.
Yeah.
So,
but it's it was one of those things that I found something that worked and I got it in every color
Mhm.
because then I could just go to my
Yeah.
closet and pull some. I could get dressed in the dark and I would still look fabulous.
well, it's like bras, right? You
Mhm.
find one that fits you. Buy every single one on the rack.
Mhm.
So-
I have a question.
okay.
Everybody name one outfit that you thought was the bomb at the moment, maybe from school, high school, junior high, and that in retrospect was maybe not the best look for you.
Okay, I have one because I went through a phase in high school where we were helping the very elderly lady who ran a local thrift shop, and because we helped her, we got to buy stuff from her at a discount,
Mhm.
and I had and have a penchant for vintage clothing. So the dress that I never had a prom, but I had a 1950s era prom dress that
Oh
was,
my goodness.
it was lovely. But what I found at one point was a circle skirt that went to mid calf, so it was long enough so I could wear it to school because I had to wear a certain length of
Mhm.
things, in brilliant hot pink.
Okay.
And I would tend to wear that to high school along with a silk shirt and think pirate shirt in black silk.
This sounds fun to me.
That sounds
I
awesome.
mean,
That
it's
sounds
not
awesome.
cool.
with my hair and skin. It was not.
Not the right
I
colours?
looked so washed out.
Yeah, I wouldn't
I go
put you,
back
I wouldn't
now
put
and
you
I'm like-
in white with next to your face. That
Yeah,
would
well,
be-
this was black with the lacing and the wide collar and the fluffy sleeves and the floofy.
It sounds like a look.
Oh, I'm sure it was a look because that's what I was going for at the time. But now I look back and I'm like,
I would totally swipe that off you. So
sadly long gone.
I had a black pleated skirt and a red sweater that was long enough that it came so the skirt hit just above my knee, and then the red sweater that hit about halfway down my thigh,
Mhm.
and I wore it with a gold chain, a gold coin belt
Okay.
and
remember
ankle
those.
boots. And it wasn't bad, but the color of red was just off enough
Mhm.
that I should not have ever put that color on. It was a fantastic outfit, and it would have looked fabulous on somebody with a different complexion.
Mm.
But it was and yeah, that was a lot of fun. And I had, my obsession with necklaces kind of started because I had a different necklace. I could wear that outfit every day of the week and have a different necklace that matched it.
Mhm.
And I loved the gold coin. I loved the gold coin belts. I loved how long the chain was. I got so mad when I got it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my. From the land of the disco era.
Oh no.
In our little town, Springfield, we had a dance club for under 18. And one of my favorite things to wear there, which I never wore in high school, but I wore at conventions,
Mm-hmm.
was a jumpsuit. Well, the bottom was black, shiny polyester.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like that weird sort of looks liquid.
Mhm.
And the top, which was had a peplum on it, and it was a crossover front, with a great big wide belt with a big silver buckle. It was all
I can
sparkly.
see it. I can
Right?
see
And
it.
poofy sleeves.
Yes.
And it was silver mylar.
Oh.
Yeah. And I would wear that with this huge rhinestone necklace and this giant belt and my 6-inch spike heels and a black fedora.
As chairman of Carrington Oil, what did you do in that outfit?
So I danced a lot in that
Good.
outfit.
That needed to be
I
danced
danced a
in.
lot in that outfit, and I wore it, I think, to NorwestCon. It was like a staple thing that
It
I
sounds
wore.
fabulous.
The problem is my hair was kind of stringy and long, and I didn't really do anything to make the rest of it work. And I saw a picture of me in it at NorwestCon from the side, and I was one of those where you're just standing wrong, right?
Mhm,
And I was
yeah.
like, "Oh my god, you're out in public in that!"
Oh no.
Somebody tell her.
But I thought I was so smoking hot in it, and I was.
Yeah, you did.
And
You
it's just a
were.
bad picture. But it was one of
Yeah.
those things that, when you think it is so dated. So
Never
dated.
again. Never again.
It was like and just
Oh, but the things you could wear at 17 and 18 that were just you
Yeah.
will never be able to wear again because it's only
I had
for
a wrap dress that I wore.
Mhm.
It was a halter. You put a halter on, you would wrap it, had a great big pin here.
Mhm.
It was navy blue with a giant pin.
Mm.
And I would wear that with nothing under it to conventions. Now, mind you,
So
conventions.
you're ready for everything.
Well, the point was too is that in high school I was considered fat and ugly, but at conventions
Uh-huh.
I was the tiniest woman in the room
Yeah.
because conventions,
Right.
right?
yeah.
Right.
So
Yeah.
yeah,
No, the
yeah.
the vinyl mini skirt and the black and red corset that I wore to the club with
Yeah.
with heart-shaped sunglasses
Mm-hmm.
because
Lolita.
kind of exactly because the corset had red hearts with crosses in the middle of them. So they matched the glasses, and it was
Yeah.
it was
But
And I
I
could
think
never
what
wear
I'm
that
most ashamed
again.
of is I got into this habit of wearing mom jeans and mock turtlenecks for almost 10 years while I was raising Katie because it was the most shapeless, ugliest clothing,
Oh.
but it was easy.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm kind of there with the easy clothing right now.
yeah.
When you're in that mode, you've got to do whatever preserves the sanity. As I say, forgive yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I've had to forgive myself an awful lot lately.
Yeah.
I know. I was looking in my closet the other day, and I realized that I have been struggling more than I realized with my mental health because my closet currently is shades of browns and grays, and I look in my
It says a
closet
lot.
and it's dingy, and I had really worked hard at getting out of that for the last few years. And then I suddenly changed shape, and I haven't gone shopping for the shape I am because I don't want to
Okay.
be this shape.
There is another whole rant
I know.
for women past 40
I'm sure.
and trying to find clothing that expresses who you are, that
Mhm.
isn't too young, too freaking polyester, or too Sag Harbor. Whoever thought that was a good name for clothing for women over 50 should be shot.
I mean, to be fair,
The tugboat's
it all
wheeling-
sags and it needs armor.
The tugboat's pulling her in now.
Really? You want me to buy clothing called Sag Harbor? No.
There was about a 6-month period where everything in the plus size section had cow print on it.
Oh my god,
Oh, no.
right? Why invite the comparison? Oh,
I
stop.
wanted so I will routinely state that animal print is a neutral.
Yeah.
It is.
And
Except cow.
why would you do cow? Giraffe, fine. Elephants, funny. Cows, why? Like,
A couple of
Yeah.
years ago,
If
when
there's not fur on it to be a fluffy cow, I'm not going
I don't,
there.
oh my god,
So,
I was
a
so
couple
mad.
of years ago, I was actually shopping for new clothes, which is really not something I've done much in my life. Most of my life has been hand-me-downs and thrift shops.
Yeah, I'm a thrift shop girl. So
But I was trying to find like new clothing because I could actually afford it, which was really nice and novel. And the in colors that year were mauve and mustard yellow.
I remember. Oh my god,
And I
that
was
yellow
like,
needs to be
no,
burned.
no.
I don't know why that ever comes back.
you
It's
can
a
wear
good-
you can wear the mustard yellow,
The mustard's
Yeah.
great for
but
me.
not the mauve. Oh my god, worst
yeah.
color.
And
I don't know
then
anybody who
went
looks good in that
together.
color. Nobody looks good in that color,
No.
except little ladies with blue hair. So I
Yeah.
mean, it's just because it gives them some color. I mean, it's like
I can do mauve. It has to be appropriate in the right spot. But
it
like,
could be like no,
I
Yeah.
can do neither. So for me, it was just like,
no,
darn it.
yeah,
no.
the year
So anyway.
the year the in color was mint green. I was like, why?
See, I would
It's
wear
all
mint
Gina
green.
Davis's fault when she wore that mint green dress to the Oscars, which is a stunning dress, I must admit. But it was like everything the year after that was mint green. I'm like, we are all not Gina Davis. We're not 18 feet tall.
But
I'm
it's,
gonna
it's
make
the
a
Devil Wears
confession.
Prada.
What?
Because my husband
green
makes
looks good
weird
on you.
noises at me when I do this. But my favorite clothing color is chartreuse.
Because you can wear it.
I like it.
looks
My
great
husband's
on
like,
you.
ah.
Well, if you want him to stay away, you know what to put on.
There's a great moment in The Devil Wears Prada where she says, "Oh, you think this
Oh.
doesn't apply to you?"
Oh, the blue
I'm-
section, the blue
God.
one. Yeah, the
I love that movie so much, and
I
it's
have
like,
never
do
seen
too.
that.
You've
Yeah.
never seen Devil Wears Prada?
Oh my
God.
god. We're putting it on.
Girls' night, movie
Yeah.
night.
Let's put it on right after this.
I was gonna say.
Speaking
that
of which,
note-
we need to wrap this up.
oh yes, we've gone over a bit.
Well,
Just a
yeah,
bit.
We always
that's just the
do.
beginning fashion rant because we didn't even get into so many different topics. That,
Yeah.
that, I mean,
We need a show talking about The Devil Wears Prada. By the way, the book is really good. But
the book's great,
It's
but
very
the
different.
show has so much subtlety to it
Yeah,
that it's just
it is.
beautiful, and it resolves into an excellent spot.
It's Stanley
So-
Tucci.
Stanley Tucci.
Mm.
I definitely, I if I watch it though, I want one or all of you all with me.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, we must.
This is a group project. We'll do
Okay.
this.
I would just leave it on loop on my computer just because there's so many beautiful lines all the way through.
Yeah,
it.
I've
my
cleaned the
God.
house many a times with it running. Yeah.
Mhm.
So definitely worth watching, and a very interesting perspective.
So
So
is it $8 or $10 worth of Jarlsberg on that sandwich?
what
is it?
It's like a 10.
There's a line in 10. There's
Yeah.
$10 worth of Jarlsberg.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So anyhow, thank you for joining our fashion rant.
Thanks.
And
The, the
This
intro
is actually this is a two topic one. But the first topic we have to think about before
We
we do.
segued.
Yeah, the whole the whole
Oh.
topic of how do you balance work and
In social
life,
life.
and we're like social life.
We're supposed to do
Balance.
What does
What's
it look like?
balance?
that. Well, welcome to the video of our social life.
This is it right here. This is our social life. Anyway, we'll catch you
So-
next time.
All right.
Bye now.
Bye.